Hey guys, today on this video, I'll be talking about different movies that I love and saying that why they're masterpieces to me. Now, this is beyond my personal opinion. If you guys like a particular Disney movie, tell me in the comments below. This is my own personal opinion, so don't take anything of the reaction that I say here about any of these movies. This is my opinion about all of them, and I appreciate how you feel about these movies. Anyway, comment below. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Lion King and why it is a masterpiece. Now, before I start actually rambling on about Lion King, I really should mention what the movie's about, in case if anyone has not seen the movie. Okay, Lion King is about this lion cub named Simba, who is destined to become king of the jungle after his father Mufasa, who shows him the Pride Lands and everything that he needs to rule over after his time comes. Of course, Simba is thrilled after this moment, and he starts singing, "Just Can't Wait to Be King." After that moment, he gets into a lot of trouble during this time, where he thinks that if he's brave enough, he can become king of the jungle. But that turns a little bit more harder than he thinks when he runs into hyenas, a stampede, leading to his father's demise. When really, his uncle Scar was jealous of Mufasa when he was the king. So he tries everything in his path to dispose of him and let him become king. While this is all happening, Simba does not really know what's going on. So he thinks that it was his fault that he killed his father, which leads him to running away and fighting Timon and Pumbaa for a while. He lives with them, he meets up with Nala, and then he fights Scar to take back what is rightfully his. A very classic story indeed. The animation is spectacular, where it starts with the animals coming in with the Pride Rock. Every single animal and every landscape looks stunning. From the horizon to the sun, to the roar in the beginning with the lion, to every single frame. You are advanced within this jungly and maybe African world through the landscape of the animals to everything. It is all right there, and you can feel it within you. The wild is calling to you within the beginning. Right there, this beginning is spectacular. From the moment it comes on screen to the moment it lasts. I could go on all day about this beginning, but really the beginning is what draws you in. You just know you're in for something once you see the beginning of this movie. No kidding. And of course, all the songs are great, all colorful, like Just Can't Wait to Be King. It's so colorful and beautiful. And everything's jumping on screen, telling you that Simba is really excited to be the king, in a very exciting and very driven way. Along with his best friend Nala, he explains on how he wants to be king of the jungle. And then Mufasa, and then Zazu comes in and kind of warning Simba that maybe being king is not all it's cracked up to be. But in a way, Simba does not listen, and in a kid sort of way, he kind of shrugs him off. Of course, this leads after when they get into the Heffalump, the elfin graveyard, where it's so dark and gritty. It kind of changes the mood a little bit. In fact, a lot of this movie changes the mood. It starts out all bright and shiny with Simba singing Just Can't Wait to Be King to the dark setting of the elfin graveyard. There's nothing but shone everywhere. So it is really, really a stunning thing to see. Yeah, so now that we know about Simba very well, let's take a closer look into Scar. Scar is a very titular villain, where he is jealous of Mufasa in every way possible. Why is he a great villain? Well, let's just put that he's not dumb as other villains would be. He actually has plans, and he almost exceeds, actually, in his plans to take over. So in a way, his plans definitely do work, and it definitely makes him a tormenting villain in a way, where he is very smart. In fact, that's what Be Prepared is all about. Him preparing for what he has to do to take over the Pride Lands. And in a way, it all comes down to this point where Simba has to fight him. Scar is definitely a intimidating villain. He just knows what he needs to do to become one. He may be jealous, but he definitely knows how to plan things. He's definitely aligned with a plan. With that, with conniving as a villain might be, Scar may be the smartest villain that I know. Of course, I did not even see what his plan was going to be like. But it turns out it might even became worse than I thought. Because I really thought that he was going to change his mind. But boy, was I wrong. Because even though he seems like he could be a good guy, he is not a good guy at all. He is evil in every way. The line with a plan, and I love it. He also cannot stand the hyenas. So when he thinks of a plan, he really wants them to just become idiots so he can be the smarter one in the room, which is pretty good for him anyway. But it's too bad he's surrounded by idiots, and for that kind of creates some kind of comedy within Scar as well. When him being surrounded by idiots and him being the smartest one in the room, it kind of comes off as a little bit of comedy right there. With Zazu, with the hyenas, it kind of works really well together. So, and Simba with his naive mind in the world, him just being a cub, he reacts really well to him as well. So you can tell that Scar's character is there. And his song brings out everything and be prepared. To the fire, to the explosions, to hyenas. It's just a song about him taking control with the darkness and everything. It just fills you. You just want to be a villain right along with him with this. Of course, there is that Nazi scene, but we'll pass over that. Anyway, this song is practically the darkest and fills you up with the evilness you need. The stampede is really an enriching scene as well, with every stampede coming towards you. You're not even sure how many there are, but they're thumping with everything. You just know that this stampede is not like what it needs to be. It is just scary in every moment possible. You just need to get away. You know that planned Scar is coming to immense. You see Mufasa dying. You see everything that Scar has done. You see Simba cry. Everything leading up to this moment of Scar's plan to what you see is more than anyone can take. For that, it is the most heart-wrenching scene ever. You can feel just as Simba feels. You know it's his fault from the moment it happens. You can feel it. And then when Simba runs away, he's met with a lot of perils, like meeting up with the hyenas, the spikes, everything. Everything leading up to this moment was hurtful for Simba. When we get to Timon and Pumbaa, it lifts us up from that dark scene that happened before to the happier scene. Like I said in the beginning of this movie, in this video, the movie starts out happy with him singing, and then it ends dark. Well, in this way, it's kind of in reverse. He sings dark. It starts out dark, and then starts out good again with Timon and Pumbaa singing with him, with Hakuna Matata, forgetting everything that just happened, and he learns to relax and let Scar take over. Of course, this does help Simba in the way that he can relax and just kind of move on with his life. But he still needs to come to terms with Scar and still need to fight. So he kind of took Hakuna Matata kind of in the wrong way than what Simba thought, or what Timon and Pumbaa thought. So when Nala comes back and tells him that he needs to come back, he was very He did not want to go back at first, because he feels ashamed about what he'd done with Scar and all. But then he realizes that Scar did it. But he feels bad that his father died. So, to anyone, losing someone is not an easy thing to get over, and Simba shows that through. What Simba learns from this movie is beyond any Disney movie you've ever seen before. He learns to let things go. He learns that sometimes things happen that are bad, that make you upset. But then you have to get up and then move on. That's exactly what he does. He doesn't let it dread him anymore. He's done, and he goes off to fight his enemy, Scar. And I have to mention, this lesson is very hard to learn. Not to mention that it's also a very lesson we all have to learn ourselves later on in life. So, it is rather a masterpiece in that the lesson it teaches is very different and very meaningful. So when Simba goes back, there's a big fight starts with every character that helps Simba out throughout the end. But of course, I should really talk about the scene where Scar actually almost manipulates Simba. There's like a part where Scar kind of makes... I should really go ahead and analyze, can you feel love tonight? Because Nala comes back and warns Simba that Scar has returned and taken over the whole Pride Lands. Of course, Simba does not want to go, and he brushes her off. But this whole scene kind of explains why this song is so good. Simba loves Nala, but yet he is caught off guard by the fact that she wants him to go back, but he doesn't want to. Kind of makes the relationship kind of spread it out. Nala, on the other hand, knows that Simba can be a great king. She just doesn't know. Nala doesn't know why he brushes her off. Together, they create a loving ballad called "Just Can You Feel Love Tonight," which symbolizes, can they feel a love despite all they have gone through, or can they learn to love each other and learn to speak to each other, understand each other? Can they do it? I'll let Timon and Pumbaa wording if Simba's gonna stay with them or not. Is he going to go off with Nala? Is he going to stay with them? They're worried that he's going to run off with Nala and leave them behind. So there's all this. They're all wondering the same question. Can they feel the love tonight? And that's what symbolizes this song completely. I think people don't really get it, why this song is in here because of Simba and whatever. But I think it really symbolizes how they love each other, but yet it's so spread apart in what they're thinking and what they want to do. And that's why Can You Feel Love Tonight is such a special song. It's not like any other love song ballads where one person just feels they fall in love just because. No, Simba has a feeling that's spread across his mind. So is Nala. So is Timon and Pumbaa. They're not sure if they have to feel the love or not. That's why it's called Can You Feel Love Tonight? Because can they? We don't know for sure. But they accept that there is love in there somewhere. Anyway, back to the ending. The ending comes in where everybody joins in. But we have to talk about the Scar scene first. Scar brings up Simba. He kind of tells him to the world that it was his fault that his father died. Simba accepts it, saying that he's not wrong. Of course it was Scar's fault. But Simba wanted to come out and say it because he knew he had to say what needs to be said. Admitting everything he did, Scar is trying to twist Simba on his head and everyone else, thinking that it's his fault again. Feeling ashamed, Simba does not back out. He does not fight Scar because he knows that it would make him feel bad. It would make him turn back. Scar wants him to remember what he has done, his past, so he can turn back and feel bad. Of course, that's what starts happening. Of course, I should really mention here that Simba still thinks it's his fault. So that's why he still mentions it. He doesn't find out until he almost gets fallen off the cliff. His father made him realize that he has to go back to reclaim his throne. Not that he thinks it's his fault, because he needs to take back. It doesn't matter if it was his fault or not. He needs to take back what's rightfully theirs and move on. And that's exactly what he does. Even if Scar tells him that it was him who killed Mufasa, it doesn't matter. He fights back in the end. Sure, he feels doomed and defeated, but he gets back up. And he realizes what he needs to do. Of course, you know what happens after this. All his friends fight him over him. Timon and Pumbaa, Rafiki, everybody fights over the Pride Lands. Everything leading up to the one moment where they fight. This scene is everything. Simba runs to Scar in a range, says murderer, which he is right. He is the one who killed Mufasa. Simba knows this. He takes action to take what's rightfully his. Everything he heard about what Scar told him is what he needs to do. He realizes that he needs that push to get in there. He just knows that if he takes the rightful place, this murderer will be defeated. So he knows what he has to do. So a full fight starts with them throwing with fire flakes throwing around, them with a big lion fight. And to be fair, when I was a kid watching this, I had no idea what lions were like when they fought. So seeing this scene is really cool. And when the fight is done, Simba turns out to be the winner. And then, once the whole rain clears up, once the fire clears up, it starts to rain. And all the seasons change. Simba greets everyone, and then he goes back on Pride Rock, starts roaring, while everyone roars back, turning into the sunny sky of Pride Rock from the beginning we've seen before. The same thing happens again, with Simba and Nala's cub being the next king or queen. And that, ending with a big giant thump. That's how Lion King ends. And that's how it becomes the masterpiece it is, with just the beauty, the songs, the characters, everything leading up to this moment with dark and then bright moments. There was a balance. All I can say about the masterpiece of Lion King is that the beauty it brings. Everything in this movie is just beautiful, and you just want to bring the wild beauty along with it. And that is why I think Lion King is a beautiful masterpiece. Thank you for listening to this Lion King video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think Lion King is like to you. And tell me more in the comments below what you think. And I'll see you next time. I'll be making more of these kind of videos soon. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below what I should do next. My favorite movies coming up pretty soon with analyzing all of them together. Bye.